Relationship advice. I, 18 female, found out that my mom, 42 female, has been lying about why my dad, 45 male, abandoned me 15 years ago. I don't know how to move forward. For most of my life I was just raised by my mother, since my father left us when I was 3, and we are very close. My mom has always been vague about the details of the divorce, just that it was very painful and sudden, and that he never had interest in getting custody of me. A couple of months ago I was going through documents looking for my birth certificate, and I came across their divorce papers. Surprisingly, my mom was listed as the one who filed for divorce, contradicting her story that he left us. I figured there must have been a reason for this, like him being abusive, but I know that my mom is sensitive about the topic, so I didn't want to bring it up. I asked my aunt, her sister, but I was just told to drop it. It's been bugging me, so I found him on Facebook. His profile was completely private, but his profile picture showed him with a little boy, who must be my brother. I found his business email online, and against my better judgment, I emailed him asking if he would like to meet for coffee. He agreed. Last week we met, and he was completely not what I was expecting. He was thrilled to see me, almost cried, and wanted to hear everything I had been up to for the past 15 years. I asked why he left, and that's when I got his side of the story. Towards the end of their marriage, my father confessed to my mom that he is bisexual, and that during high school and college he had a serious boyfriend. He was ashamed of his orientation, which was why he hid it from my more traditional mom. My mom was angry, but didn't divorce him because of it. After the divorce he began dating his boyfriend again, and my mom freaked out over me being exposed to this. My mom petitioned for full custody, and was granted it. Over the years my father has attempted to reach out to my mom about me, but she has never budged. I asked my mom about what really happened, no BS. I told her dad's side of the story, and she tearfully admitted that it was true. She insists it was not out of anger or bigotry, but because she genuinely believed that it was best for me to stay with her. I am just so shocked still. She lied to me for years, making me think my own father did not want me. My dad and I are reconnecting now, but I have missed so much. Next week I am going to meet his husband and my 7-year-old brother. I live with my mom, but I can't speak to her right now. She is begging me to forgive her, but I'm so angry and I don't know how I'll ever not be angry with her. Now for the top advice. I've never been in your situation, but one thing I'd suggest, given such a big event happening to you, is to give yourself time and allow yourself to not to have to make any decisions for a while. Yeah. I'm saving up, and then I'm going to move out. Even if I end up forgiving my mom, I need space. But other than that, I'm not making any decisions right now. Look, I say this as a gay person. 15 years ago, the culture around sexuality was entirely different from what it is now. Gay was still an insult in 2005. It was still an insult in 2010. Gay marriage hasn't been legal in the US for more than 5 years, and bisexuality is even more misunderstood. It's possible your mother did think she was doing the right thing, and does realize she did the wrong thing, and because of that, I really think how she responds to this new situation should determine how you proceed forward. The reality of being human is that we make mistakes. Sometimes we make really, really big mistakes, or mistakes that shouldn't reasonably have happened, or a series of mistakes one after the other. Only the people around us can decide if those mistakes are forgivable. There's not a grading system for these things. Talk to her about it. Edit. Yikes, this has turned into a bear of an argument. Glad to be of service stirring the pot, I guess. I'm happy to see this resonated with some folks. Thank you so much for your reply, genuinely. This is wild and you have every right to be upset. Don't let anyone tell you, you shouldn't feel a certain way, or make you rush through the feeling process. Just because someone is begging for forgiveness does not mean you have to grant it immediately. If you are not allowed to experience your feelings, start to finish, they will linger for a lot longer than is healthy for you, or the people in the situation. Enjoy being happy to reconnect with your father, and relish in having a brother. But also allow yourself to feel hurt and betrayed because they are all valid to you. I hope, once you have processed the good and the bad feelings, you are able to reconnect with your mother, but make sure it is on your terms. Hopefully you can come out of this with a bigger and more open family group than you started with. Now for the next story. Updated, I found out I have a daughter who thinks I was her mother's offender. It wasn't forced. What next? Original story. I received an email last week from a woman claiming we are a DNA match, and she is my biological daughter. It was a long and emotionally charged letter. She said she knew she was child of offense, and while she had no desire to form a relationship with me, she wanted me to know that she existed and to understand the pain and anguish I had caused her, and her mother and grandparents. The letter was gut-wrenching. I was shocked, but also skeptical. I have been married 25 years and I have 3 great kids. I have never forced or abused a woman, ever. I thought this had to be a prank or a scam. I had done home DNA ancestry testing 2 years ago, and it had not shown a child I wasn't aware of. But when I logged into my account, there she was. I did some sleuthing, and figured out that her mother was a woman, Terry, fake name, I had dated for about a month during our first semester of college in the mid-1980s. We broke it off mutually and remained friendly. The very last night of the second semester, we hooked up at a dorm party and went to my room and slept together. It was a casual hookup, and I remember it as 100% consensual and very passionate. Also unprotected. Afterwards we went back to the party and had a great time dancing and mingling with friends. We both went home the next morning for summer break. Terry didn't come back to college the next year, which I gave very little thought to since we weren't close, and hadn't bothered to communicate all summer. One of the reasons Terry and I were incompatible was religion. She was Catholic and I'm Jewish. I was not religious, but she had grown up in a strict household. My supposition is that, when she discovered the pregnancy, she told her family she had been forced rather than admitting to premarital intercourse with a Jewish ex-boyfriend. But who knows, maybe she had other reasons. It kills me that I have a daughter in her 30s who has been fed lies about her father. I can't imagine growing up thinking I was a product of offense. That has to be so hard psychologically. I am in pain for a child I didn't even know existed just a few days ago, and who hates me. I have been debating what to do. I have not written back to my daughter. I badly want to tell her the truth, in a way that she can believe, but how? My wife, who has been a rock the last few days, keeps telling me to give this some time and thought. My best friend says I should hire a lawyer. I don't know what to do and it's eating me up. Advice, please. Now for the update. I hired a lawyer. He recommended that I respond to my daughter's email to unequivocally deny the allegation. I wrote her a short message and described how and when Terry and I met. I was careful not to attack Terry and to offer sympathy. I explained that our dalliance was consensual. A week went by with no response. 2 days ago, my daughter wrote me, and said Terry now claims she was forced a month after she and I hooked up, and that she was told by her doctors that the baby was born premature 8 months later. She's basically saying she was misled by her doctors. I find that very hard to believe, but if it's true, it is awful, and if it's not, I guess it gives Terry a way out without exposing her big lie, which is maybe best for everyone. Yesterday I spoke to my daughter for the first time. She was crying and so was I, so it wasn't easy to say much. Before we hung up, I told her that I loved her because she's my flesh and blood, and I hoped we could get to know each other and meet my grandchild. She sobbed so much after that, and said she's been waiting her whole life to hear those words. My wife and I told our kids about a week ago. They are teenagers and took it really well. All three are interested in meeting their new sister and niece. My wife, my beautiful, caring, bestest friend ever. She's been nothing but supportive. She has offered that we invite my daughter and granddaughter to visit over the Christmas holidays, even suggesting we pay the airfare and offer them our guest room. My daughter is going to call me again tonight and I'm going to propose she come, or offer to fly to her if she's more comfortable. We have a lifetime of catching up to do. Meantime, as for Terry, I feel like my daughter and I were robbed, but I really don't want to dwell on it. She hasn't reached out to me and I don't plan to either, though I'm prepared to be cordial if she does, and to listen to her story and be open-minded. Edit, I'm overwhelmed by all the love coming at me from Reddit. Thank you all for your support, compliments and helpful opinions. Really. I promise I will post an update. Now for the top comments. Well damn. All I can say is that, I am so glad that you have a wife and 4 kids who are so open-minded. This is a situation that seems like something straight out of a movie, and I cannot imagine the kind of stress and anxiety and sadness, and everything you have been feeling as a result of it. I'm really pleased to hear that things are turning out well with those who matter the most, your spouse and your children, despite the awful lies of another person. I wish you all the best. And as hard as it's been for OP, I literally cannot imagine the pain Terry has inflicted on her daughter. I mean, yes, I get there might be judgment reasons to claim offense, not an excuse, just a reason, but if you're keeping a child, who the hell tells them they were the product of assault, especially if it's a lie? That kind of cruelty is just unimaginable to me. I'm really glad to see a positive update, but I would advise OP to take things slowly. I know everyone's keen for a meet and greet, but like with adoption reunions, it can be overwhelming, so maybe invite her for Christmas, offer her and her family to stay with you, but also offer a hotel/Airbnb if staying with you might be too much. Or if she stays, send the kids to the cinema/mall/sleepover etc., just for the first day, so just the adults and grandchild can get to know each other. I'm an introvert, and staying with a family I'd never met would be way too much for me, even if I was keen to meet them. I just want my own space to unwind, and where I could leave early to have a quick lie down if things become overwhelming. I really hope this works out for you OP, and that you can come to terms with what Terry did to you. I have to say, I think you've handled everything so far with remarkable equanimity and grace. Dude. Damn. This is probably the best outcome you could ask for, man. You have a level head on your shoulders, man. Props for being so mature about this. Congrats on your new daughter. This is the best possible outcome of what sounds like a really messed up situation. I'm so glad for you and your family, and your daughter. You were so smart to talk to a lawyer first. I'm literally crying. Just imagine being misled for 30 years and then discovering that your father is a caring human being and loves you no matter what, even if you called him a violator because you didn't know better. It also took a huge weight on her shoulders off. Just think about knowing you were product of a bad situation your mother didn't want, and she maybe didn't want you to begin with. But knowing you were made with love and passion, that has to be awesome. Props to you, OP, you are a beautiful human being. And that's it for this video, guys. If you have thoughts to share, leave a comment below. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you like this content. I'll catch you in the next one. Good day, everyone.